So once you get all this set up, you can just hide your bounding box, whatever. Now, in order to preview an animation for Reactor, which in essence what you're doing is you're opening up the world and then playing it to see how the object reacts, you can either go here, preview window, or you can go up here, preview animation. Now, if you have another object in the scene, like a box or something, that's moving across the scene, you're going to want to hit preview and window on the reactor tab, because up here it won't add in the animation. Not quite clear why it does that, but it will add it in here. So now, if you see here, when I click preview animation, it says initialization. Fuck, I can't read. Simulation, max simulation. There are no entry collections, or they are all empty. Alright, so in order to get these into max, you have to specify what kind of objects these are. Are they hard objects? Are they soft objects? Are they cloths? What are they? Alright, well, we're going to do a rigid body collection. What that means is that all these objects are going to be solid. They're not going to be squishy, flopping all around like a dead fish. Alright, so we're just going to select every object in the scene here. Get that out of here. We're just going to select all the bones in this ground object here. You're going to go up to create rigid body collection. If you have all the objects selected, you just tap that and it adds them all on there for you. If you don't have them selected, delete this and create a new one. Just select it right there. You just go to your modifier tab, you hit add, and you just add them all. But the easier way is just select all, hit rigid body collection. Alright, so now all these objects will be in the scene. But none of them are going to react because they don't weigh anything. These objects have to have a weight to react in Reactor. So it would just be like a couch that weighed absolutely nothing. Well, the way the computer sees it, it wouldn't move at all. On Earth, it would, because there's wind, etc. So we're not gonna take the platform here. We don't want that to weigh anything. We want that to stay stationary. That's what the point of this is. So this is acting as the ground that the person is going to hit. Alright, so this little list up here, it's called Open Property Editor. Click on your box, hit Open Property Editor, and you can adjust the mass, the friction, and the elasticity. You can make it inactive, no collisions, phantom, unyielding. I'm going to explain what each of these are. The mass, that's how much it weighs. We don't want it to have any mass. The friction, obviously, you guys know what friction is. The elasticity, that measures how much objects are going to bounce off of it. Now, inactive, we don't really need that selected because this already has a mass of 0. It's not going to move. Inactive with something that has a mass would mean that it wouldn't move until something collides with it, and then it will trigger a reaction. Disable all collisions, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Unyielding, that means that anything that hits this is not going to yield to that object. This is not going to react to any object. It's just going to do its own thing. Phantom means you can see it, but it just doesn't have any collisions. There's something else about it I'm not quite clear on. Nothing significant. Alright, now these simulation geometries, these you can pretty much just leave on mesh convex hull. If you use, say, instead of using this box, say you created a plane, instead of a box. As you guys know, a plane only has one side to it. So, if I try to put this plane into a reactor, it wouldn't work with mesh convex hull. I'd have to put it on concave mesh. So, the reactor will tell you before you start it up what needs to be done mesh-wise. It'll let you know if you need to use concave mesh or not. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. It's like 9 degrees in New Jersey. Nine freaking degrees. Why did I leave Tennessee? Alright. So we're going to unhide all. Alright, so now we're going to weigh these bones because we're not going to weigh this one. Weigh the bones. That way they react. You don't really have to select the bounding box when you do this, so I'm just going to hide it. I'm going to give them a mass of, let's say, 10. And I'm going to leave their elasticity at 0. I'm going to leave the friction at 3 for now, and just see how it does. Alright. So that's good. Now if I click on these, it holds their settings. Let's say if I were to click on a separate one though, just like one of them and not the whole skeleton. I click this. And I give it a mass of 2. Alright, now I select the entire skeleton again and go to reweigh it. Now you see this little NC here? That means that not all the objects you have are of the same weight, so it has the mass at 0. So the way you'd fix that is you either just reweigh them all right there, or you just know already what the object is and you weigh it, or you can just have the objects weighing different amounts, whatever. But I'm just gonna leave all the bones at a mass of 10. No elasticity. I like realistic falling animations. So now I'm going to go up here and hit preview animation. Oh, what is this? Alright. So, all the geometry is too small for the reactor at the moment. How do we fix this? Alright, well. What this means is that the geometries are set to be larger than what these bones are in the reactor. So we're going to go over to the utilities panel. Going to go down to the world tab in reactor, and we're going to adjust the scale. This here 1M equals the world scale. There you go. Alright, I'm going to put that down to 1.0. Whoops, 1.0. Alright, you can adjust this anywhere from 1 to 17, and it should work with the skeleton. But what happens when the scale is too high? We'll put it at 17. Boom. Okay, the thing absolutely exploded. I'll reset it and show you again. Yeah, just disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. Alright, so we're going to put it at 1.0. Alright, so I'm going to hit this again. We're going to watch it explode again. Oh my, why is that? Okay, well, the collision tolerance is set for larger geometries as well. So, I believe I put that at 0.1. And then we start getting a reaction. There we go. Look at that. That's nice. Alright, so let me zoom in on this. And it just fell to pieces. Now, why did this just explode into a million little pieces? Well, I'll explain why. These bones currently are all their own separate object as far as reactor sees them. So, we have to constrain them together somehow. So, let's use a ragdoll constraint.